From Craig Rolson in Europe, David Gerber in Brazil, and our editor-in-chief and publisher, Don Oshman, it's time for this week's Sunday Night Week in Review.
Welcome to another edition of the HideNet Weekly Market Review video. Today is Sunday, June 1st, 2014. My name is Don Oshman, editor-in-chief and publisher of HideNet.com market reports. In in Europe this week, Craig Rolson, our European editor, notes that it was a shortened week in Europe because of the Ascension holiday that some people have made into a long weekend. Cows are still the weakest in Europe, but that seems to be all the downward pressure seems to be on the cow sector over there. The steer, the automotive type bulls are doing okay. They're not stronger, but they're certainly no weaker. There were price declines all along, but in cows, but not as pronounced as it was before. Splits, like in every place else in the world, are still under pressure. The Italian demand for Brazilian wet blue picked up, which helped some of that stuff that hadn't been going too well previously. And Craig has a very detailed and interesting report on European lamb and skins as activity picks up a little bit. It was awful quiet for a long time. In North America this week, steer prices were up to the surprise of many. The cow sector was steady, also to the surprise of many. We have a good article on live cattle imports, not the bulk of the herd, but there are live cattle coming into the United States all the time, where they came from, how many, and a percentage of the total supply. The kill is expected, speaking of kill, the kill is expected to increase in the near term because in June, especially the first couple of weeks of June, or into the third week of June, is a huge meat consumption time for the 4th of July weekend, national holiday. And that's a big beef eating time. So packers are increasing kills because they've got demand for the meat, and they have a profitable margin, at least last week and hopefully this coming week. Also, with respect to slaughter, as I said, it was good, but sales, export sales have been very good, and sales exceeded slaughter again for the previous reporting period, the latest reporting period, and exceeded shipments as well. So export sales and domestic consumption were greater than the supply of cattle during the period. In Latin America, David Holes reports from Nuevo Hamburgo that Brazilian slaughter is down a little bit due to the inaffordability or unaffordability of meat to the Brazilian public. They have the cattle, but the packers aren't able to sell enough meat to run at full bore like they have been. Speaking of packers, they have been able to maintain the price levels recently seen on fresh and green hides, putting pressure on the tanners. Speaking of these tanners, who are also living with poorer split credits like everybody else, they were able to increase their demand for their wet blue, TR1 wet blue, and their crust this last week by lowering the price. You know, at a price, there's something for everybody. So as a result, better demand, more movement vis-a-vis Italy and even into the Far East. That about does it for tonight's report. Thank you for watching. As prices move, you want to know what's going on, HideNet.com is the place to find out. Get a free trial on any of our reports by going to HideNet.com. And if you have any questions or comments about these videos, just send an email to don@HideNet.com and I'll be happy to respond to you. Thanks for watching. See you next Sunday.